When I was 17, I stumbled upon a learning technique so powerful that it changed my life. Using this method, I completed a 2-year A-level math course in just 3 months and scored over 95% on the final exam. That result got me into a top university, but it also got me into a lot of trouble. Today, I want to share that technique with you, how I found it and how you can use it to master any subject in record time. But to explain, we need to go back to my final year of school, a time when my future depended on passing math, and things were looking bleak. Math wasn't going well for me. In desperation, I approached my teacher, Mr. Parkinson. "Sir, I don't understand linear algebra, vectors, or calculus," I admitted. His response? "We shouldn't have let someone like you on the course. Work hard, and maybe you'll scrape a D, but math isn't for you." That stung. A few days later, I sat alone in an empty classroom, wondering how to turn things around. That's when a man walked in. "Anyone can learn math," he said. "I'll help you. And I promise you'll get more than a D." I was skeptical, but I had no other options. We agreed to meet twice a week for 30-minute sessions during breaks. At our first session, he handed me a stack of A4 papers. "Pick one." Each page had a handwritten question with a partial solution, but parts of the answer were missing. "Fill in the gaps," he instructed. "But I don't know how," I protested. "You learn math by doing math," he replied. "Give it a try." So I did. If I got stuck, he encouraged me to write down my best guess and work through the logic. He gave me more sheets for practice, and when I ran out, he advised me to use a textbook covering parts of the solution and figuring them out myself. Within weeks, my confidence skyrocketed. In Mr. Parkinson's class, I began spotting and correcting his errors, something he did not appreciate. My new tutor, Mr. Simpson, kept pushing me. He provided hundreds of problem sheets, gradually increasing their difficulty. When topics felt too easy, I chose harder ones, ensuring I constantly challenged myself. After 2 months, I had completed every single problem in every textbook in the school's math department, thousands of them. Then came the mock exam, the last major test before the real A-levels. We had 3 hours. I finished in 90 minutes and left the room. The next class, results were handed out except mine. After class, I was called aside. Mr. Parkinson stared at me in disbelief. "You scored 99%. I waited for praise, maybe an apology for doubting me. Instead, he asked, "How did you cheat?" I was stunned. "I didn't cheat." "Well, your result is disqualified. You won't receive the prize for coming top in the exam. Off you go." Despite this, I took the final A-level exam, found it just as easy, and scored top marks. But my school never accepted that I hadn't cheated. I was banned from the math department, prohibited from attending class, and nearly expelled. Those last 3 months of school were miserable. The worst part? Mr. Simpson, the man who changed my life, was a temporary teacher. One day, he just vanished. I never got to thank him. Years later, I read Ultralearning by Scott Young. Young mastered MIT's 4-year computer science curriculum in 1 year and learned multiple languages in months. His method mirrored what I discovered with Mr. Simpson. Young outlines 9 principles for rapid learning, but I believe you can do it in 7. 1. Learn how to learn. Mr. Simpson knew the best way to learn math. Whatever subject you're tackling, find the most effective learning strategy. Books are a great place to start, and librarians can be invaluable guides. If using the internet, stay focused. Don't let a search for resources turn into researching air fryers. 2. Focus. You need dedicated, distraction-free study time. I had 2 weekly sessions with Mr. Simpson and spent breaks in an empty classroom working through problems. Find your study space, perhaps a library or a quiet room. 3. Do the thing you want to master. I needed to get better at solving math problems, so I solved thousands of them. If you want to improve at something, spend your time doing that thing, not just reading about it. 4. Target your weaknesses. Instead of practicing what you're already good at, focus on the areas where you struggle. It's tempting to stick to familiar topics because they feel good, but rapid improvement comes from working on your weakest points. 5. Test yourself constantly. Self-testing isn't just a way to measure progress, it's a way to learn. Each math problem I attempted was a test, reinforcing knowledge I hadn't yet mastered. Find ways to test yourself as often as possible. 6. Seek feedback. If you can, find a mentor like Mr. Simpson, someone who can evaluate your work and push you forward. Feedback accelerates learning. 7. Understand, don't just memorize. Knowing an answer isn't enough, you need to understand why it's right. Build intuition. Ask, why is this the solution? Why does this method work? True mastery comes from deep understanding, not rote memorization. This method transformed my life. It can transform yours too. Whether you're learning math, a language, coding, or any skill, these 7 steps will help you master it faster than you ever thought possible. Find your own Mr. Simpson. Push yourself. Learn by doing. And never let anyone tell you what you can or can't achieve. Are you excited about the video? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more cool AI tool recommendations, subscribe to watch videos next. See you.